Hello and welcome everyone again to another video. In today's video, we will be talking about the best teams in Holiday Cup. As you guys might know, might not know, I don't know. Holiday Cup begins December the 15th, and Holiday Cup is basically 6 different types you're only allowed to use: normal, grass, electric, ice, flying, ghost. Those are like the only stuff that you will be allowed to use, and there are some dominant Pokemons, there are some spicy Pokemons, there are some Pokemons that literally have only one use, which is to counter the Vigoroth. Vigoroth in this cup, as you guys can see on the PV Poke ranking, is the #1 Pokemon. It used to be #2, I think, last time, but since they gave it Rock Slide, now it hit everything in the Holiday Cup. Like literally, there is nothing that resists all of Vigoroth's charge move. Maybe something that I can't think of that we will be seeing. Pretty much the best Vigoroth. Okay, we'll talk about the map there. But yeah, here is the top ranking. Vigoroth #1, Aurorus #2, Lantern is #3. Why Lantern? Because technically Grass is tough to use in this cup, because they're like some Fire, some Flyets, and Grass against Vigoroth is not even a good matchup. If you swap in a Grass into Vigoroth, you pretty much lose. You have to be Grass, and then they swap in Vigoroth, then you try to deny them on the fast move. So Lantern is pretty much the most reliable ice and water answer, and it hits the electrics with super effective move usually. No, not pretty much, but like the most dominant electric Pokemons usually are Universe Stunfisk and Alolan Graveler. Those are the main two you will see beside Lantern. So Lantern is very dominant due to the massive bulk plus the decent coverage. It doesn't hit grass pretty much, like that's the only Lantern weakness, thank God, and hopefully they never give it a grass coverage. So I'll divide them into 4 different types. I denied grass because technically the only 2 grass Pokemons that you will be seeing are Trevenant and Venusaur, and you can just say it like that. Venusaur will be will be shy to be popular in this cup. So Electric Squad, Pachiriso, and Magnezone. Magnezone can beat pretty much everything in this cup if the Magnezone is Shadow and it's the 0 shield scenario. You just Volta Switch, get the Wild Charge, throw it, you pretty much beat everything. Okay? Togedemaru has same purpose, but Togedemaru can boost with False Stinger. So if you think you can be sneaky with False Stinger, it's a good use. Plus that Togedemaru has Steel subtyping, which means if the opponent has a Charmer, usually use Togedemaru to destroy them. Ufisk is pretty much a bulky Pokemon that can just spam charge moves. And we talked about those two. The Ice Squad. Frostlass was the best Pokemon, I think, last Holiday Cup rotation, which was basically 3... it's in Season 13, which is basically last year around Christmas. Holiday Cup is basically the themed Christmas Cup. Okay, Aurorus, I don't know if we had Aurorus back then or no. I don't think so. Arctibax is new to the cup. Dugong was there, but pretty much it was Frostlass, A9, and Alolan Sandslash. Those were like the only 3 ice types that you will see. Lapras might be useful. Something to mention here, Cast Form Normal had a decent use back then because Talonflame was very popular, and Talonflame and Frostlass were like very popular, and like normal Cast Form used to be the Pokemon that beats them. But now we have Dunsparce with the Drillland. Dunsparce didn't have Drillland back then, so Dunsparce now has some niche use as the 3rd best normal type in this cup. The first one, which is the most popular one, will be the most popular one. This cup is basically a Vigoroth cup. If you ever thought that there was before a Vigoroth cup, it won't be as much of a Vigoroth than this cup. Vigoroth is #1, Double is #2. Arguably, you could say Dunsparce is #3, but usually, like, people will run Obstagoon behind, so they usually safe swap Vigoroth to bait out what beats both, and then save the Obstagoon in the back with shields. The Ghost Squad, I think the most dominant one should be either Jelly, because Jelly technically destroys Vigoroth, Hex with Surf, or Skeledridge. Skeledridge has a good use in this cup because you beat all the ice and you can beat the normals as well. Jelly into this thing is not a fun matchup. You could actually run Bubble with Jellicent on this cup, and you could you could easily get away with it unless people run Arctibacks. If they don't run Arctibacks, Bubble Jelly should be the way to go. At some Pokemons, you could also use Volibee and Mandibuzz. Altaria has some use in this cup. It was actually a decent, it was basically back then the best counter to Vigoroth. Now with the nerf to Sky Attack, it still beat Vigoroth, but it's not a comfortable matchup because of the Rock Slide. Diggersby has an use because of the Fire Punch. Litleo had a decent use, I think, the first time we had Holiday Cup, because basically it was double ice meta and Litleo just destroyed the ice types with fire. I think it has Fire Thing and Ember. It doesn't have Fire Spin if I am correct. Venusaur has was the best anti-meta, as it beats Frostlass and Vigoroth as long as you beat Frostlass on CMP. Wigglytuff had a good use because you beat Talonflame in the zero if they go straight Brave Bird, I think. Some other Pokemons you could use: Zangoose, Chandelure. I used actually Shadow Aerodactyl. I will probably be using it this rotation. Shadow Zapdos had a decent use. What's the name of this Pokemon? I actually forgot. I know that it has Boom Burst and it had a community day. A normal cast form has actually a good use in this cup. So how do you build a team in this cup? This is like a new section we're adding. Basically, you pick Vigoroth, okay? And you pick one of these stuff that beats Vigoroth. I wouldn't go with Gligar because Gligar gets smoked by the ice types. I wouldn't pick Togedemaru because Togedemaru here is actually a baiting dependent, where you assume that they shield the Fell Stinger, then the Wild Charge after KOs. Charizard is a good counter, Scaldage is a good counter. The thing to mention is that Charizard will get one-shotted by the Rock Slide, so you need to have shields and you need to be up energy. Well, you don't need to be up energy, but being up energy help a lot. Skarmory destroys Vigoroth. All these stuff just get destroyed by Vigoroth. The Lantern matchup is pretty much energy dependent. The one who swaps the other lose. The one who has the energy lead should win. So what I will be running in this cup? Pretty much I think I will be running Shadow Charizard, Vigoroth, Lantern. Why Shadow Charizard? Because, if the non-Shadow can beat Vigoroth, I can just use the Shadow and do output more fast move damage, so I can force them to shield my baits eventually. Vigoroth here is pretty much my neutral Pokemon, because you have to use Vigoroth in this cup, and Lantern is just a generalist and a bulky Pokemon to use in this cup, to just adjust the fact that I'm running a frail Pokemon in the lead, so I need to rely on some bulk in the back. But if you guys watch this channel, you know that we always run something called top 3 PvPok. What's the top 3 PvPok? As you guys can see on the ranking here, Vigoroth, Aurorus, Lantern. What's the thing about this team? Technically, you want to have the Skarmory on Lantern if possible. If not, you want to have it on the Vigoroth. And you have Aurorus just in case they have a grass Pokemon, and Aurorus can beat Frostlass in any shield scenario straight. Meteor Beam. Meteor Beam is a much better version of Shadow Ball with the fact that it's a guaranteed boost to your fast move. So this team should be a decent team, I'm assuming, until people run Water Gun Lantern, I think, and then it's gonna be tough. Another team, I call it the go-to. What does the go-to mean? People will see, good players will see that there is a new cup where you can use Frostlass, Vigoroth, and Lantern, so they will just use them. Why? Because you have 3 very reliable Pokemons that are decent. So we have Frostlass, decent Pokemon, Vigoroth, OP Pokemon, Lantern, OP Pokemon. A solid team with Togedemaru. I was trying to build a team with double normal here, like Vigoroth and Double. Double is technically kind of a spammier version of Vigoroth. It doesn't have the same coverage, but it has Wild Charge. It doesn't have Rock Slide. It has Wild Charge, which technically give the same coverage. You hit the flies, which is super effective. It out spams the... But yeah, so technically I was trying to build a double normal team. So BBPok suggested that Togedemaru is the best replacement. Not the best replacement, it's like the most suitable Pokemon for this team. A team that I wanted to mention here, double flyers should be good. Just the fact that Vigoroth is running Rock Slide doesn't mean that double flyers are bad. And this is, I think, that we had the first legend back in season 13. It was a Japanese player, I think, and he was running double flyers with Pharaoh, as Pharaoh was the Lantern answer. So don't sleep on double flyers. It should have a decent play as long as you know how to beat Lantern. I'm assuming you should replace this flyer with Venusaur because of Lantern, and since this team it technically don't have the best Lantern coverage. So these are pretty much the most solid teams. So I remember the 6'4 Ninja team back in the first time we had Holiday Cup. He used to run AWAC with Snorlax and Hunter. Hunter has Ice Beam now, so it should be better. And we have Skilledridge, which should have a better coverage in this cup than AWAC. So you could swag around this team by running stuff like Trevenant, Snorlax, and Skilledridge as like kind of like a replacement if you don't have these. I just run Frostlass. It's a team I call because it's just literally Frostlass, Vigoroth core with Alolan Graveler. Why am I talking about Alolan Graveler? It's just one thing. Alolan Graveler always find a decent way to be used in any themed cup. Alolan Graveler is usually a decent Pokemon due to like it has some decent bulk and it can nuke with Stone Edge. And it has a Volta Switch, so if the opponent's on bad timing, you get lots of free energy. So don't sleep on it. If you have no skills and you just like to tap your way to legend, this is pretty much the best team for you. It's Skilledridge Double Charm. If you don't have a Skilledridge, I don't know what to tell you. You can run AWAC, but if you face a Lantern, you could just uplift. You could also run Vigoroth Double Charm in this cup and you should be good to go. Back in, I think the first time we had Holiday Cup, we pretty much had people were running 4 Pokemons: Altaria, Frostlass, Vigoroth, Lantern. Those 4 were like the most dominant 4 in this cup. And 2 years after, it's pretty much the same. Like imagine those 4 were pretty much the most dominant 4 in the Halloween Cup, in the Holiday Cup. The Holiday Cup after, we saw some Trevenants, but it's literally the same. Now we have less Altaria, more Lantern, so it's gonna be like this now. It's like, okay, this is more common. So another Pokemon that worth mentioning is Universe Stunfisk. I think this team was, King Ivy ran it a couple seasons ago in the Holiday Cup. Ufisk, Dugong, Frostlass. Ufisk just being like a good neutral Pokemon. It doesn't beat anything technically, but it doesn't lose to anything as well. So you could choose whatever you want. You want to beat everything or you just don't want to lose to anything. I pretty much, if you run Vigoroth here instead of this, you should have a solid team. You could also do Skarmory as a Frostlass answer. So yeah, pretty much that's it for today. Thank you so much everyone for watching to the end of the video. If you like the video, make sure you leave a like on the channel, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Peace.